Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. We have another video here. This is a repair video, no diagnosis on this time. This is a 2010 Bmw 335i M series. The customer complained with this car. It has a major leak on the back cover and most likely it's cracked, and so he requests to replace it. We already ordered from the dealer, so I'm going to start taking everything apart and replacing the back cover gasket, and this is what I wanted to show you on this video. So let's start with this. Let me get you guys a little closer and switch the screen so I can see. Make sure that you guys are on the right position. Let me get a magnetic tray to put all the bolts. Alright, so the first thing you need to do in this one is get this back cowl space out. So we need to get the air conditioning filter out and this, so we can remove the back cover. Alright, so let's take these covers out. We just attach in here. I'll put that on that side. Same thing here. That one is a little hard to get with my finger, so one of my favorite tools to pick, and I use an angle one. That's good for the connectors and for everything else. Right now, let's get those rear bolts out, or 8mm plastic thread. So should be 5 total. Put this wire out of my way. Perfect. One is missing on this side. This is a very weak design from BMW on this filter. Those threads, by removing and install the filter, they just get destroyed. It's not that critical, but I mean, it's definitely a flaw in the design. Alright, we can put that on the table. Kind of like a little long filter. With this one, you can just twist it if you want, get it out, and then just disconnect it's kind of like a clip that holds it in place in here. Then you got another 2 8mm on the side. Those are regular thread, you know, for a car, at least for the metal. No plastic threads. Alright, we need to open this in here before we take anything apart, because this is part of here. So we'll remove this one. Make some room here. Keep this sort of organized. Alright, well, you remove the cover, then you need to push this one or pull this one outside. You remove the wires from it, and you can remove it. And then it's a bigger one on the inside. You need either a pocket screwdriver or something like that to make it easier for you to open it up. It's just open up the clips in here, and then you can get that wire out of there, because the wiring stays here. And then now you can pull this out of the way. And I'm just setting that on my table here. Those are too big. Make sure if it happens this, just, you know, put the gasket back in place so it keeps the shape. Important for sealing. Yeah, like this one is actually a little damage in there. Let me see if I can unbend it. So this creates, fumes to come in the cabin. Alright, that's perfect. Another thing we need to remove is this. You need to remove a cover on the center right here. It's just, plastic cover. Just unscrews and then you can remove it. And most likely I'm gonna need to go and get that big one for the back. This one I know I have it here. Tell you in a second which one is exactly. It's E14. Yeah, this one is E14 here. I think the one on the back is an E18. Yep. Let me go and get that one. Toolbox is close to me. So I'm gonna grab the 20 and the 18 just in case. Let's see if it's 18, and it is. So I'm gonna keep that 20 there. I don't need it, but I don't have to go to the car again. To the toolbox, and it's tight. So let's use a regular ratchet. Same thing here. All you need to remove is the one on the passenger side. This one you gotta get it completely out, otherwise it doesn't let the arm get released. And that one just laying on the bottom. Beautiful. I don't think I even get on the floor. Nope. Now that's gonna make me need to lift the vehicle to find it. Most likely is on the muffler or so. Alright, we do that later. Let's keep going with this. So in order to release these wires and get more room so we can work with the back cover, we need to get this out of here. So it has clips everywhere. And obviously we got leaves everywhere too. So we got clip on the back too. I'll show you in a second how that works. It's kind of like the same like in the front. This is where the ECM is located. Alright, so this one you just gotta move the flaps out and then push it up, and this one just slides. Same thing as the one in the back. I did that because I want to make sure I give this wiring extra room to get that back cover out. So whatever or whichever gives you room. This one is not moving yet because the coils are still there. Let's get this one out. You need to remove this hose out of the expansion tank. Make sure the engine is cold when you're working on this. You release the pressure. This one is actually a little low in coolant. I ain't going to install nothing yet because no matter what I gotta disconnect this. All you gotta do is with a pick lift the clip that is securing the hose, keep it in the hose, and then just pull it out. Yep. That's it, and I recommend you to do this because I have seen many other techs that they don't do this and they break right here the expansion tank, so be careful with that. Alright, that's just a good advice, so no headaches for you. That should be, it's a 4, 5, 5/3/8. See, for all these inside bolts and everything, my walker works very well. That bolt on the back corner is not in there. A lot of techs don't install it because it's hard to reach. I like to install everything back and forth. But if it's not there, I ain't gonna look for that bolt. So, alright, so now we need to disconnect the coils. For this one, this is a GDI engine. We're going to need to remove all the lines from the injectors and the connectors. So just, work yourself easy. That's why, I like to remove this from here. You can remove this 10mm bolts in the back that will hold the harness. That has a harness for the injectors and the harness for the coil. Then you can move it out of the way. I'm just, looking around, see if I have any other issues that I don't see. No, everything seems normal. These coils, you just lift this lever and the connector just comes out. Sometimes the coils are a little stuck, so I use a screwdriver to remove it. But let's try it. This one's not so bad. Yeah, like that one. That one is stuck. So what I usually do is just, put a screwdriver through. That helps me pry. Oh, these coils are just sitting in there. They're not even bolted down. Okay. One thing that you have to be careful with this system is the grounds for the coils are attached to the to one of the bolts on the back cover gaskets. Make sure that you put those grounds back and never try to start a car, because that will immediately damage the drivers on the computer. Is how you call one careful thing that you need to have, or just be careful with that. All right. Okay, that's 8mm. We got 10mm in here to get the wiring out. I like to keep my car close to me. Alright. And as you can see now, I can lift this whole wiring all together and get it out of the way. This one is not so bad. still can get caught in there. Oh, that one doesn't want to stay. Might put a plastic wire tire to secure that. I still got to remove all the injectors and those 8mm nuts that are holding the grounds for the coils. Get a extension. One second, guys. Sure. Yeah, please. Alright, decided to change the camera angle a little bit to get you guys closer. I know it's probably a little hard to see. I don't know if I can do a zoom, or if I want to do a zoom. Probably right there. Alright, so I was removing the number 8. These are the nuts. These are the little nuts that hold the coils, coil grounds. You're gonna have 3 of them. Alright. So we got the grounds disconnected. I need now to disconnect and plug the injectors, and for that I'm going to need a pick. To see which way this actually goes. So the injector actually has the clip facing up, so you got to just push it out and then pull the cable. I mean, if you keep the harness onto this plastic loom or holder, you don't really need to be too careful on distances for each of the injectors and coils, as long as that is in good shape too, right? Gotta be very careful with this clip not to break it, so take your time. So you got 4, 5, and the last one right at the back, so that's it. So this wire should be all released. Let me disconnect these 2 valves on the front. See what else is on this loom. We have one that goes towards like the alternator, not the alternator, the cam and crank sensors on the front. So we just leave those in there. Try to disconnect as much as you can to give yourself room. This is gonna be on my way. We're gonna get a plastic wire tie, maybe attached to the wiper. We're gonna get a few wire ties. Got those in one of my tool carts. I think I removed it the other day out. I was putting things away, organizing the car. I changed a little bit of the layout, and now I don't know where I put it. It's not here. Maybe on the top. Come on, dude. Not here. Alright guys, sorry, but I gotta find those, and I don't remember where I put it. Alright, I got the plastic wire ties. I already put one here. As you can see here, Now I need to see if I can remove these hose from here. Gotta be very careful because these plastic are very brittle, and it's kind of like a very specific design that BMW does, or you need a specific tool. So with a pick you can go around if you're careful enough and disconnect it. Just take your time. You guys will see I'm pretty much done with this one. Yep. It has like a 4 tabs that secures us here, 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 and here. So just go around, take your time, and then this one is actually broken in here, but 3 of the tabs are still good. Yep. Okay, we got the hose out. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So each of these sides is secure. So as long as you open, pull a little bit, it will release around. Now we need to disconnect this pressure rail sensor. And we got a hose, well, not a hose, a wire that goes from the back of the back cover that is holding this in place. So let's fish it out and get yourself the room that you need. No matter what, remember, we're taking all the back covers out. I mean, not all the back cover out. This is the connector for the O2. Again, I'm just removing it from the bracket in there to get the connector, which is under. And we need to do the same thing here. Just open up a little bit the bracket and then disconnect. Make sure that you see that the gray one is the one on the back and the black one is the one on the front. Because you see, at least on the old kind, on the old type, the connector was the same, and yes, it is. I don't think the wire might reach, but just be careful. Alright, so we got that disconnected. Trying to, get myself as much as room I can to pull this wiring away. I need room to get that back cover out, and it's not much. Alright, so now we got 2 vacuum lines in here. So this is vacuum reservoir. To see how much room I can get out of it. Pull gently. Remember, those are wiring. They're connected. So now we can remove. One is connected to this reservoir, and the other one goes to the other one on the back. As you can see, we got 2 here. So probably the best thing to do is get this whole thing out. As I can see, it's only 3 bolts. Well, one might be hard to get. Has the bottom of the coolant bottle or reservoir in place. So making a little bit more room. So that's number 10. Careful, you have a wire and a hose under this. And these 2 vacuum lines you can just remove. Make sure, the one on the front to the engine valve goes into the back one here, and the one on the back to the right. So trying to see if I can remove this thing out of there. Give myself a little bit more room to work. So let me get that one. Came off of the hose, but it's still there. Still attached. That's what I was removing. And I'm gonna have a little bit of a mess of coolant in here, but I can live with that. Trying to get that hose out of the expansion tank. Alright, so what I did is I go over the front of that connector and just go like this and release it. It worked out perfect. Alright, so now let's see the connector for the level. Well, I need to get it completely out. And you can just that is the hose, just making a mess in here. I try to lift it so it's just a gravity. So we can get this reservoir out of the way. I gotta put them in a cash container in there. Got a map in here too, so if I need to, I will put them up. I'll put a cardboard under the car, catch some of that fluid, so I will not be walking into that. I like to keep, the old boxes from the radiators and so on, so I can use to catch the fluid that will be on my shoes otherwise. Alright, so we got that out. Guarantee you, taking this time to remove these ones, it will help you at the end to work faster. It's just, a couple of bolts, nothing hard to remove. That was my socket, and that one didn't land on the carpet. I mean on the cardboard. I got the nut that I just took off. I don't see I can hear it. Yeah, somewhere in here. That's one thing that I hate to work with these cars, is that anything that falls, it will land in there. So I can see the nut in here, not the socket, which is the most important for me. Make sure it's not inside the radiator. Sometimes it just lands somewhere else. That really sucks. It's making me lift the car. Alright guys, sorry. Gotta get that socket out of there. No matter what, I gotta get the other bolt too. Alright, I got the bolt and the socket out of there. Remember, this was the big bolt on the front. It lay on the wire that goes, from the manifolds, exhaust manifold. It was right in the tap and the socket. It was right at the radiator, in between the radiator and the cover was right there. I'm talking about the shroud for the radiator or the fan. Alright, so let's keep going with this. One more 10. And I learned my lesson, so I got the locking extensions. So No more falling, no more falling sockets. Alright, let's do it. It's very important to remove that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove one for the canister, from the canister itself, and then another one from the actual holes in here, if possible, because sometimes they're just very hard, and it looks like this is the case. So this is it from here. So again, the front one is the front tube. You have two lines in here, so the front one goes to the front. This is directions for you and for me. I mean, those are just vacuum, but the storage, I'm not sure, where this is coming from. I haven't seen the whole diagram, so just better do it like that. Put this hose in there. So it's this one. Try to avoid as much as leaks in here. And now we can probably try to move these lines carefully off the block cover. Maybe a little smaller, like a pocket screwdriver. Just trying to, to get it off of here without breaking it. Thinking what else I'm going to have to remove. I mean, I know I have to get all those pipes out. I like to take my time and think on what I need to do. Yes, I can go over to all the procedures and remove and install, but this is very easy stuff. That should be no problem. Get this out of there. Just the bracket in there. It holds the connector for the O2 sensor. We can get those out. If possible. This one is fighting back. Alright, got it out too. Just again, if you do gentle. I got all the coolant in my feet now. This is what I didn't want. I'm just trying to, be careful with the coolant because I go home always for lunch. I got a small dog, and this is very poison. So, you know how dogs are. They love to lick everything. So, try not to bring chemicals to the house. get the air filter. I might be able to get all that thing out of my way. So I'm going to do that. Let's get this air filter out of here. Here. Keep this filter clean. We got torch on the front. U225. Looks like it. Yep. That's what you need to release in order to get this one out. And that will give us more room. So we got one flat screwdriver clamp in here. Yeah, you guys can see a little bit in here, right? Just removing the air filter. And those wires also attached to the air filter on this side. So, gotta move you guys 1 second. Right. Part of this bracket is just attached to the intake manifold with gotta be careful with this hose. Better if I remove it. Get a pair of needle nose pliers to help me get that off. What you gotta do is just squeeze those and release. That's it. So what I was saying, the air filter housing is just installed, but with rubber grommets in here. So just be careful with that. While you pull in, make sure everything is released. Alright, so that's it. Put this on the side. And back to business, or back in business. Maybe I'll pick up that. Was one of my thermal cups that I have for coffee. I never use it, but I mean. So now you can see better from there what I'm doing. So let's get as much as we can out of the way. This is so brittle. Like it looks like, it feels like it's a tube, and it's just a wiring. And that's caused by temperature. Alright. This would probably give us more room here. Perfect. Now what I'm thinking to do is just remove the whole injection tube. What is that, like 17, 16 on the front? Yeah, 17. So just release the pressure. This car has been here for, the car was here yesterday in the afternoon, and I brought it inside, so it shouldn't be much pressure in here. Okay, I'll be right over. 1 second, guys. Alright, got that tube off. I think this way I might be able to remove the whole injection tube without removing each pipe, just from the injectors. I think the injectors on the front are 14. Have to be careful with those when you're releasing it. Make sure there is not a spin in the bottom one. These ones are fine. They try to spin the injector a little bit, so as long as you're gentle, it's okay. And when you're tightening them up, make sure that you use a wrench on the bottom. Yeah, this is no problem at all. Right. The last one is a little hard. This by hand. Make sure you wiggle the line, the tube, so all of the rest came out very soft, except for this one. It's not leaking, so I don't think it's like cross-threaded, whoever installed these injectors. We'll see. It's coming normal. Just not as soft as the ones on the front. Alright, that one is out. We still got some fluid coming out of this injector. Alright, now we can remove these ones in here. Let's get that clamp out of here. It's just on my way. It's covered in a bolt. Alright, so I'll show you how that is. So it has a clip down. You have to like down and out, and then just pull it up. And I have the coolant right in my feet. Alright, so down, and out. and this is just hooked in here. We got 3. That is just for the wiring. Alright. Let's get that line out. Looks like it's 11. Bolts. That's it. Now let's see how this feels. Perfect. And that's it. So we got the whole injection rail removed. I'll put that on the table. And definitely that gives us a lot of room to work, because we got all these screws or bolts in here that we need to detach. Just to get it off the way, I need to just move this way. I can play with that a little bit. Alright, you see this 2 oxygen sensor lines or wiring. Yeah, that's out of the way now. Okay, now we are ready to remove the back cover. That is a reverse storage. Get the locking. I gotta get a locking extension 3/8 for that socket. Well, not even know if I got the right one yet. So yeah, this is it. It's a E10. Just go ahead and loosen all of them up. This is a lot of board. You're going to need a deep socket for that one. That's a number 10. Just push yourself around the ones you can remove, and then you can switch sockets. this extension for a shorter one. I'm not going to use a locking one for this. Hopefully it doesn't fall. No matter what, I got the car ready on the jack and I got already the undercover removed, so get a swivel, get two of them, and where are you? Wanted to use not a, yep, I got an impact swivel and a regular swivel. The regular one is more flexible, so when you're don't need a lot of torque, that's perfect. Alright, that's off. And the last one, at least for the E10, is this one. Now let me go and get that deep socket, because that isn't a special socket, because those are very long. And right here. Just putting stuff away that I'm not using. Keep it organized. It makes you faster to work. So this is the socket that I'm using. This is from AST. It's a Bmw socket 10160. This is specific for this kind of stuff. I'm going to show you why. Well, actually, I cannot remove them from the back cover. A regular socket will not work on these ones, even the deep ones. Obviously, the manufacturers, they want you to spend money on every single car. They make a specific tools. Alright, so it looks like we got all the bolts released. Let's go around, make sure that everything is loose, which I have one left in there. There's so many that you can miss one. Alright. One more time. All the inside ones are loose. And looks like that's it. Alright, so let's try to lose this back cover from the seal. I'm not really too worried about, you know, because I am putting a new back cover, but for those that are not, just go around breaking that seal off, because that gasket gets attached very well. Just going very good. Just going to releasing the gasket from the surface. This usually what tries to hold the back cover in place. And that's it. Alright, now let's see. some of those spark plug tubes are staying in there. And the gasket, as you can see, it comes off. But that's how you remove the valve cover. We put this on the side. So all the bolts that stays on the valve cover, they're not removable. And these are the tubes that I was talking about. It's better if you remove these tubes and install it after. The last one is full of gasoline from the injector. And you put these tubes after you install the valve cover. That makes it very easy, because then you're not fighting with that space in there. Alright, now what I'm going to do is clean the surface. I'm still waiting for the valve cover, but this is exactly what you need to do in order to remove the valve cover gasket again on a 2010 Bmw 335i M series. This is a GDI system. That's why you have a tube like this and injectors on the center. Alright guys, hope you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe. And again, thank you so much, you guys, for your support. I will put a link on every video for those that want to support the channel. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, and have a good day.